Hello and welcome back to another episode of NRL Unpopular Opinions. I am your host, Ryan Cook. Joining me is the usual supporting cast of OP, Oscar Pannifex, Jharal, Yow-Yeh, Liam Fogarty. How are we, gentlemen?
Yeah, great, gents. It's good to be back. Wasn't good last week. I don't know if you heard, punters, or watched. Whew. That guy was sitting in my spot. That wasn't me. That wasn't Jharal.
That was 50.
Yeah. I lost my soul last week, honestly. Yeah, I did get shot 9 times. Jeez.
Manny man.
I should have stayed down.
I
was out.
Like, I got hit.
But here I am.
He ain't breathing.
He's back. Yeah. He's back. Fogs, you okay? I know you slept in this morning, mate.
Yeah, I did the old turn the alarm off instead of hitting snooze and then just slept
Sleep,
through.
what is that?
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So, no, I'm all
I
right.
haven't done that for a long time.
Oh,
When's the last time you did it?
Oh, like a year ago probably.
Oh,
but I was just...
That's too recent.
That panic, just waking up and looking at the time, you're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I've
did
done that too.
I did it when I was working in a cafe when I was like in my teens.
Oh, no.
And the next shift I rocked up, like a bunch of the regulars had bought me an alarm clock. And gave it to me. I was like, you dogs, get out!
I did it when I was at the Bronx. I got sent back to North.
Ooh, oh, really?
Anthony Griffin. Get that up, you Jharal. Get out of here, mate.
The climax!
Yeah. What the you late for?
Unfortunately, this is the Norths of podcasts, so there's nowhere to go from here.
It's just only up.
Off the air.
Yeah. And the Angry Ernie shirt's made a comeback, which means Oscar's ready to lay into someone.
Yeah, you guys just choose which topic you want me to get passionate about today.
Well, let's talk Spencer Lenu again, boys.
That's banned.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Oscar still can't go to a pub.
Hang on, my manager's calling me. Yeah, no, I can't. Let's not go there. I was wearing my Angry Ernie shirt on Saturday. Bad day on the punt, right?
It was terrible. Very
sharing
terrible.
some chat, but I got a new nickname from it, which I thought you were going to intro today.
I'm actually
the Devon.
The Devon degenerate.
I'm actually surprised we're not more of degenerates as a group away from this podcast. You know what I mean? Like, we're actually pretty good.
Keep your cards close to
yourself.
You keep your cards close to your chest, Jharal. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really. Well, the thing is, I like to. Yeah. I only like to show my winners.
I was going to say, you chirp up when you hit a two-legger that you put $100 on.
But some weekends I don't even punt. Like, I just totally forget about it because I've got other stuff on, and then I'll be like, then I'll get angry on a Monday and I'll be like, maybe I should just go hard at the Dogs this week. But that's not how you should.
Dishes is always a good
That's
place
not how you should
to turn to on a Monday. We had some winners in open groups. I actually went all right. I didn't back any of my winning tips, but we got a couple of winners over the weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm back.
Get
I'm
into open groups.
I'll get in. Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah. Have we got an open pot for Game 3?
Game 3.
No, it
Announced
probably
that yet?
Usually gets thrown together late, so
10 hours before.
Put it
get,
all on Stephen Crichton.
Well, if you want $10 profit, come to me. We can give you that.
It's the best $10 you'll ever get.
spread across.
Spread it on.
300 members.
Let's start with a little bit of Origin chat. We're going to do our full preview show, as always, on Monday. Not a lot to talk about on the New South Wales side, so we'll start with Queensland. Big news we got to start off with is Shibasaki. Massive storyline just in terms of the narrative of the game.
You're going to have to. You're going to have to shave your beard into a goatee for next week.
I don't know if I can grow a goatee. I think that's
I'm too long
Oscar
gone. You're
areas.
probably too long gone as well.
it comes back quick. It wouldn't be anything impressive, but I reckon I could get something up and running.
You could go chop a reed, I reckon.
Oh, easy. I used to go the handlebars when I first game of cricket every summer. Look like Mitch Johnson.
I mean, what a story though, gents. What a great story. It's been very well versed in the media at the moment about where he's gone, how he's become here, how he's came here. I wouldn't say hardship he'd have to go through. I mean, you're in an NRL system a lot of the time. But it is annoying when you get put into a narrative of being a young superstar that is coming up through the Broncos, which a lot of players do get overhyped. And, I forgot, I knew that he did go away, but I forgot that he went to the Knights. I forgot that he went to the Rabbitohs for a train and trial.
Former South Sydney Rabbitoh again, Shibasaki.
And don't forget the Japanese Rugby Union.
Exactly.
Which is just the pearl dive.
Where stars are made.
Like, it's...
Been in the Blackhawks for the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, and then the Blackhawks, and then you get a train and trial. I've never seen someone... He just looks so mature right now, the way he plays his footy. His build, he looks grown up. when he first came to this club, it was really hard. He was behind the likes of, Jack Reed. I think Hodjo was here as well at the time.
Birdie would have been there as well.
It was just a really tough time, I suppose, to be a young fella because you couldn't express yourself as much, I think, back then. Like now, you get given opportunities more in trial matches, playing Queensland Cup against men.
Yep.
It's a lot harder to do that back then. So what a story he is. And I think when we seen Toya come in, Big Bobby T, there was a little bit of worry there about what we're going to see. I actually don't have any worry about Gem. Like, I feel like he defends really well. He's not anything crazy in attack, but he finds a line close when we're close to the line. And over the last few years where we've had those luck for Queensland, it has been when we've been attacking the lines. I'm not talking about the last 3 or 4. I'm talking before that. We've had big centres who can just, muscle their way over. And I think Gemmett's that type of guy. And I think this is great for the Broncos because it's only going to give him confidence to go in through the back end of the year for us. But yeah, I'm just so happy for him. I've watched him grow up here at the club for a long time, as a young kid. And I don't think there's been, when you talk about the Reece Walshes and the Paddy Carrigans, they've been exposed to, that type of stuff for a long time. This kid is so humble.
When did he come on your radar to potentially play Origin, if at all?
To be honest, there was probably 2 weeks ago when we knew, there was going to be, probably not even then. I mean, when Kalen Ponga went down, I suppose that was probably the only time. But even then, I thought, Walshy would come in. But then looking at Walshy, I thought to myself, is he ready, like, physically? I don't know if he was ready because he still looks like when he's running, there's still that little bit of, looks like he's a little bit sore.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else is seeing that. I definitely
He's
am.
not 100%.
He's playing with an MCL injury.
Yeah, correct.
It takes time. Like, he even said it in his first game back. It's going to take him 4 to 6 weeks to figure out how to run a little bit differently with that MCL.
That's one of those confidence injuries too, where you're kind of a little bit cautious once you've done it.
When he went through that line, not last week, the week before. I know it was the Warriors. When he broke through, it still didn't look like he had that, that flick and go. He still looked like he took a little bit to get up and go with his acceleration. So, but I've spoken to him since, and he said he feels great. He just might look stiff, I think, and maybe there's a little bit of swelling around, that area.
So much around his knee anyway. Like, it's restricted.
It's restricted him as well. But back on Gem, I don't think anyone's seen this coming. But this is the beautiful thing about Origin, right? And I know this is very cliche to go here. Sorry, Oscar, but this is so Queensland-like.
It is.
Like, do you know what I mean? To put someone who's never played in an Origin game, to put him in a decider in Sydney. It's humongous.
Corey Allen energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are they trying to force that Queensland? I've asked you this before, but it's similar to the Toya selection to me. Are they trying to force the Queensland spirit too much?
The battler. No.
That's what I reckon.
Can't force him.
Yeah. Like, the Toya one's a little bit different, I think, because I think you can see his quality.
It's potential.
Yeah, I think, like, it was quite clear, fairly early on that he was going to be there for the future. But the Gem one, it is very Queensland. Like, it can go two ways. If it works right, Billy Slater again looks like an absolute genius, doesn't he? He's picked a guy and put faith in him to do a job. I think there's a lot to be said about picking specialist centres. I think it's quite clear that Billy values not only specialist centres but defensive centres. Like, Toya was critical of him at the start of the year, but his defence has been one of his best qualities after those first couple of weeks coming back from injury, and that's what Gem has been doing a good. Like, he's not super quick laterally. I think if I'm Stephen Crichton, I'm looking at that going, that's probably a spot that I want to target from a Blues perspective. But he makes good decisions. He reminds me a bit of Isaiah Tass for the Bunnies. Like, he'll concede a few metres if you throw a shift at him, but he moves well. He positions himself well in the line. He makes good contact. Makes his one-on-ones. So
would have been interesting to see this week, if it was Origin was a week later, to be able to see them go up against each other. Because they play the Bulldogs this week.
Yeah, they do. He did a good job against Crichton
he did
when
a
we
great
beat
job
the
against
Bronx.
him at Suncorp, I remember. And I think probably you got to think about that type of stuff. who's been the guy to really put brakes on Crichton at times, and Bill's obviously looked at that. But I just also think he's a big body. Like we haven't had the luxury of that. We've had Hammer in there, we've had Val in there. Yeah. Toya's not a big boy. He's still yet to grow up. But I mean, I don't know if he's ever met Gem, but he's huge,
big man,
and he's thick, he's solid. So as much as he might not be that quick, I think there'll be a very positive way they defend against Stephen Crichton. They'll let them hit the leads more than they'll go out the back. And then they'll just have to scramble on those short sides, which I don't think they've been great on the short sides, New South Wales. I think that's something that Queensland will identify. So if they can stop, Critter getting early ball, I think Gem will be all right. But even in saying that, there hasn't been a time this year where I've looked and gone, oh, he doesn't look out of place in the centre position. So, and even being in this camp is going to be another eye opener for him, and he'll develop more skills in the past 10 days.
Do you think he would have drawn a line through ever playing Origin? Do you reckon?
Yes.
The way his timeline went, he would have been like, "Oh, I'm just happy to be a first grade centre. Like Origin, I'm happy to put that behind me. I'll never see that sort of success." Do you think that's kind of how he was thinking, and then this has come as a massive surprise to him?
Yeah, Fogs. I think you've got to probably think he might have put first grade. A line through it, because he came in as a trial and train here. And even when I spoke to him last year at Christmas time, I asked him how he felt being back. He goes, it felt right to be back here. And sometimes I had this conversation with, I was talking to Walshy about this again. It's funny because before they played the Warriors, I went to the barbecue and I was talking about him leaving, and he just said there was a wrong decision. Like, people leave here and realise how good it is at the Brisbane Broncos, but you've got to leave to realise that. And I think for Gemmett, if he had, maybe stuck around and took less money and probably hung around a little bit longer, but there might be other reasons why he did leave, because he got told that he would get given more opportunity somewhere else. But sometimes you just got to play them out. Like, there's a lot of boys here at this time. I mean, Selwyn Cobble, for instance, he's gone, now, and will he be back? He might be back. We don't, he could be back in a year's time. But I think you've got to understand, you play your best footy when you're comfortable. And I think Gemmett is very comfortable here at Brisbane. He's got his family here. He's got a lot of people he can lean on. He's very close with a lot of these boys that have come through the under-20s with him.
Yep.
So that's the reason why I think he's playing his best footy, and it's only going to make it better when he walks into that Maroons jersey.
I reckon it's because he's been given a role from Madge as well.
Maybe a clear role, yeah.
What you said before, that he hasn't done a lot wrong, like by the eye test, because he does the same thing like every week. He scored half his tries backing up on the inside from his winger, and he scored the other half, like you said, big body, simple unders or overs lines, just carrying defenders over the try line when you get in a good ball. I think it's a big vote of confidence for Madge at a time when he's copping a lot of criticism from guys like Gordy for the way that Selwyn Cobbo's situation has played out. Billy Slater's making the same decisions that Madge is making. You don't hear Gordy having a crack at Billy. So I think it's a really, like, from a Broncos perspective, it's a slow burn. Like, it was going to take time for Madge to find that winning formula and figure out the ones that fit with him and ones that don't. I'm not sure what's going on with Selma. Maybe there's been other things going on there, but it speaks a lot towards what Madge is trying to create at the Broncos. And it's been a slow year, but I'm sure we'll talk about them at some point today. They're about to welcome Ben Hunt back in and around the ruck. They're scaring me what the Bronx are doing. So shout out.
I honestly think that Gem is going to be. I've never been scared. When you put someone in there who's fresh, I think you get worried a little bit. But just the way and all his mannerisms, like you're saying, it doesn't make me nervous, even against Critter. Yep. Doesn't make me nervous him going into that side, because I believe you put someone who's a good footy player into a better system, I believe they make them a better player.
Yep.
And I believe right now for Gemmett, I'll go back to the word mature. I think he's matured so much. And I think as a football player, sometimes a lot of these blokes don't get to mature because they miss the jump and then they leave the game and they go sit in Queensland Cup for 6 or 7 years and then that's it.
They lose for it, yeah.
He's had the chance this year on a very. Sometimes you've got to have luck in this game. Like, you've got to be in the right place at the right time, and he is. And
opportunity.
It is. It's an opportunity thing. Mate, I say the only reason I go back to me is because I only know my story. So I feel like I was lucky a lot of the times where if the places I was being, if Israel Folau doesn't leave, if Denon Kemp doesn't leave, you've just got to be in the right place at the right time. And Gemmet Shibasaki is that man right now. We might see Gemmet and Bobby T play for Queensland for the next 5 years.
Start of something new.
Yeah. So it's a really cool thing to see. But I'm just so happy for him and his family because it's a really big achievement.
Yeah, it's what makes Origin special. Before we move on to some other topics outside of Origin, Oscar, do you think the Blues have dodged a bit of a bullet with Walsh not being named?
Yes.
And Hammer being moved from centres?
Yeah, I think the main, if I had to guess, I would say the reason Billy's gone with Hammer is because of the kick defusal problems.
Yep.
New South Wales, time and time again, put balls high.
KP just couldn't
in that 10 to 20 out from Queensland's line. KP was 0-5 or 0-6.
I think that's the only way that we in the second half.
That's how New South Wales come back, eh?
If he doesn't get injured, we put him back in that side. And do you reckon that's where they go?
We're just going to keep doing it.
Correct.
And it's not easy. I'm not bagging Ponga.
But
Zach
his
Lomax
timing.
is a nightmare
But his
to defend
timing
on
is
those
off. You can
kicks.
tell, as a winger, I can tell his time is. He's trying to go early because he knows that he can't jump him. So he's trying to go early and he's over jumping it every single time.
Yeah.
And that's why he's trying to catch the ball.
Yeah,
back
I get
here.
you. Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do.
Trying to get up above Lomax rather than go. Yeah.
And we've seen Hammer do it numerous times.
Well, he's just clutch in the air, man. He's just smooth.
And I think I've said this on this podcast. I will take a fullback winger, anyone who can defensively catch a ball rather than an attacking catch every day of the week. Because it's the big games and the big plays. Because you can defend your line for 6 sets. Yeah. And if your winger drops it on the 7th, and then when they drop and score, if your winger catches it on the 7th or your fullback, that breaks your heart. As an attacking line. So he's been brought in definitely for that reason. And Walshy, I just feel, is not there right now from coming back from an injury as well.
Even if Walsh was 100% fit, Hammer's better under the high ball, on those kick defusals, I think. Ooh, so, to me, that's why Billy's done it, so it makes sense. As a New South Wales fan, I'm glad we don't have to defend Walsh in 3-on-2s.
Yep.
Because Hammer's, if Queensland are rolling through the middle, if there's offloads in second phase, Hammer's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
But if it's a grind and if it's you get 3 shots at our line just, per half and you need to set up some shape, Hammer's not throwing that double cut out if
something out of nothing play.
Maybe not. Not to say that he can't, but that's not
his game.
His game is running and it's he's a slippery little sucker.
It's working for the
4 tries on the weekend.
We'll talk about the Phins very shortly.
Hopefully New South Wales don't defend through the middle like South Sydney did.
Oh, let's hope.
Let's pivot to Clubland. We'll have a full Origin preview, as I said, coming out next Monday. I want to start with the Tigers here because I'm going to go on record and say they are very much in the mix to win the Spoon. $6.50 with Neds right now. Haven't won a game since round 6, I believe. And I just think watching them, it's starting to feel pretty bleak again. That first half against Manly on Friday was a tough slog. They've only scored 36 points over the last 3 games, and it sort of felt like during the whole Lockie Galvin saga that they could still maybe play finals. But now we're back to this tough brand of footy to watch. The Forks are out for Benji Marshall, and the next month is tough. Roosters, Wars and Auckland. They got the Titans, so they might win that one, and then Penrith. Are you boys with me here? Is this?
Yeah, I'm with you, but I'm still back in Newcastle.
Yeah, you have to.
What are Newcastle paying for the Spoon at the moment?
Honestly, they've lost KP now. I think they can capitulate.
Fletcher Sharp's gone for the season.
I think they're capitulating. Yeah. I think it's done.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I've always backed them to get the Spoon, and I want them to get it so bad now. I really do.
We need to be right about something,
isn't it? Those guys, man. I don't care. It's you know what? It's unpopular opinions for a reason. Sorry, Knights fans, but
I agree with you, Ryan. I think the I wasn't sure that they were going to play top 8 from the start of the year, but there was I know the Knights run is f***ed. We'll keep scrolling. It gets worse.
No!
It's like
no!
Raiders, Broncos, Sharks. It's like all top 6
Just
teams.
lock it in.
There was a lot of evidence at the start of the year that that they'd made some genuine steps forward, I think. And then, the Galvin thing takes hit. The Galvin thing was disappointing because it looks like the style of footy that they are trying to play with the ball this year is Lachlan Galvin style footy. They don't hit specific spots on the field so much as they use dudes like Terrell May and Fanua Pole, who they've missed over the last month. He's back and he's made them look better through the middle. But so often over the last few weeks I've watched, they get into good ball and then one of those big, powerful forwards will bust a tackle, leave a defender on the ground, pump his legs, get 10 metres further forward and into a shit spot on the field. And then Luai's left in a corner for the next tackle. Or they're popping a really late offload, just like they've got a backline set ready to go. And then May will get an offload to Appy and then he's got a dart and it just throws everything out. Like when you got Galvin playing there, he loves that style of footy because it creates cues in the line and he's so quick at reacting to them. But I don't think they've got the roster. I don't think a spine of Luai, Buller's out at the moment too, so that doesn't help. And Latu Fainu, it's not their game, I don't think. And it's just causing like a lot of errors with the ball, which then compounds their defensive issues as well. The injuries are bugging them over the last couple of weeks now with Buller and Luai missing. I don't know if they'll win the spoon because I'm with Jharal. I think the Knights could have
their run is atrocious.
It's bad.
Like honestly, Newcastle fans, lick your lips at this. Like this is, these are gonna just not gonna be good. You got Storm home, Warriors at home, Canberra away, Panthers at home, Cows away, Broncos at home, Sharks away, and then you've got the Eels.
Maybe 2 wins.
There is the
at best.
That also could be. The Eels could go back-to-back spoon bowls.
No, I reckon the Eels are. I'm so impressed with what the Eels have done. They're not there.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
The market has the Titans as $2 favourites, which I mean, you watch the Titans, that's probably fair enough.
Yep.
Newcastle $5.50. So
for most losses.
Yeah.
For most losses.
They're 2 games behind. Oh, 1 game, sorry, behind the Eels and the Tigers.
Yeah.
I like.
Oh yeah. What have the Titans got? Titans got a bye this week, so they should win that.
Yeah.
So should Newcastle. But then they got the Bronx, Tigers, Warriors, Penrith, Rabbitohs, Sharks, Warriors, Dolphins, Tigers.
That's a better run.
Oh, that could be a spoon bowl.
Spoon Bowl, Tigers,
Wow.
Titans. Titans will get Keanu King back
I'll
soon,
go
which
to that
helps.
game. If that's a spoon bowl game, I'll go. I'll go to that one.
Yeah.
I'll make a nice little Saturday night on the
Dressed as a big
GC.
spoon.
Might be the only sellout at Rabina they get all year if it's a spoon bowl.
last 10 years.
Oh, that's terrible.
The other team, just before we get to your rankings, Oscar, the Warriors, who have now lost Luke Metcalf for the year.
Draw a line through 'em.
Man.
Top 4, I don't know, a little bit of doubt.
Yeah.
Lost 2 in a row now. They got the bye this week. Errors, missed tackles, huge against the Bronx on Saturday.
They needed the bye.
Look,
They do.
Yeah, Adam G f***ed the Warriors in that game hard.
Nah.
Big time.
Nah.
Nah. Look, it's tough. Metcalf's injury sucks, as did Barnett a month
What did
ago.
he do?
ACL.
Yeah.
Piacura got him with a great shot. I don't know why he's in trouble for that.
Yeah, it was simultaneous.
But it was
Yeah.
it was the way he landed or something.
He just-
He
I think he had his
He's
back
done
leg
that.
planted.
He's done that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did that exact same. He got
Piacura?
No. Metcalf had the same injury last time he did it. He got hit in the same spot.
Yeah, right.
So it's the mechanism of him standing sideways and his foot staying on the ground.
and then the back leg cops all
Yes.
the way. Interesting.
It's very interesting, but that's what happened last time.
It sucks, man.
Yeah, it does, man. He was leading Dally M's 4 weeks in a row. Like
He'll
this
still be
poor
up
kid,
there,
man.
yeah.
Like, what do you got to? Sometimes it's just not fair.
It's a
just gotta
poor
cop-
fan base.
just
So
gotta cop your
CNK
lips.
gone.
What's
Martin
Chance?
Wozniak.
What's Chance done?
I think he's out for the year too, isn't he? Similar.
He's
thing?
just done something.
He just
Yeah.
got the shit kicked out of him all
He-
game.
Yeah.
Oh, he does that for a living, doesn't
Yeah.
he? He loves. The biggest problem, like the most unfortunate thing about the Metcalf injury is like the Wars are one of the best placed teams in the comp to cover an injury in the halves. They got Tomato Martin who can come straight in. Tanner Boyd's way too good for New South Wales Cup. You should see his numbers. I think they're 11 straight, the Wars in New South Wales Cup. It's got a lot to do with what Tanner's organising down there. But Metcalf, like his role in this Warriors side, they're not in the top. They're not fourth because of Metcalf's involvements at halfback. They're fourth because they're such a gritty, resilient, like composed team under pressure. They look so comfortable in the grind. They're happy to win games by 2 points. Late, they're happy to play patient and wait for points to come. Most of those points have come through Metcalf in some way or another. So the challenge for them is going to be like they're doing too much right to fall out of finals, I think. I'd be shocked if they don't play finals. But when they get there, missing a dude like Metcalf, that's when they're going to feel it the most, and it might be the difference. So, yeah, very disappointing. Don't rule them out. Tamati Martin's a hell of a player, but yeah, it's a big loss.
The one saving grace is they've got a pretty easy run over the next 3 weeks. Tigers, Knights, Titans. So that's
okay. Yep.
Yeah,
they need to win those though. You know what I mean? They're the ones that are scary. If you're a Warriors fan, you're nervous about those games because we're getting to the part of the season where through those other teams, it doesn't matter to them. So they're just gonna throw anything. It happens in the last little bit of the year. The shit teams start to play, ad-lib footy. They don't stick to their processes, and they just want to play footy. They don't want to go into a Mad Monday drinking piss, playing shit.
it's the time of year where the Titans win games, and then the following year you're like, oh, they could be a top 8 team, which is what I did.
The Knights are shot. I'm just saying it right now. They're shot. Their attack is going to be. They've had the worst year in attack. That they've got the worst attacking out of everyone, and then they've lost 2 of their best players.
Ferrari's gone back to the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AOB.
We could get something right on this podcast after 10 years.
It'd be nice, yeah. Oscar, you published your triannual club rankings on the Neds blog. Part 2 for the year.
Yep.
Go and check that out, listeners, if you haven't already. Very in-depth preview.
Come roast me in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, some of your selections, Raiders top of the pops. I'll let you start there. Not a huge surprise, but...
Well, yeah, I was kind of tossing up between them and Canterbury. Like, defence wins comps, so I had the Bulldogs on top, but the way that the Raiders, particularly over the last few weeks when they've had a few injuries and they've had other guys just come in and do a job, Simi Sasagi's scoring tries every other week whenever he comes in to replace Hudson Young through the middle. Like if Morgan Smithies is starting or coming off the bench, they've got such good depth, but they're just so frigging connected. Like Jed Stewart comes in over the weekend. Did you hear the story about how his debut come about?
No, I haven't.
Ricky was tossing and turning all week because they've lost Tamale and Hopewada. You know, he had a couple options there. And Tarps and Papali'i and Hudson Young came up to him during the week and said, mate, Jed's ready. Pick him. Put him in the team. We want to play with him.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, wow.
And then, I know, it's so cool. And then after they were trying to, or he was trying to figure out whether he was going to rest Hudson or something or other, and he just gets Hudson, Zach Hosking and Sasagi and goes, you boys talk amongst yourselves. Come back to me and tell me who wants to start, who wants to play off the bench. He does that his team is so tight. Jharal, you can probably speak better than I can to the intent, like what that creates. It doesn't show in stats, but it shows in like the way that they get around
trust.
each other.
Like that's a trust thing, man. Because I would have never seen it really when I was playing. I was just young. So, I would have never seen that with our big boys in the middle or anything like that. But I can tell you this, that didn't happen back.
That wouldn't be happening at the other 16 NRL clubs.
No way. I mean, look, you've got to lead. You'll have a senior leadership group that, has a conversation about things. But I'm not sure.
Like to that extent, hey?
I don't know. I mean, definitely wouldn't happen at Melbourne. Craig wouldn't. Craig would leave everything up to himself.
Same at South Sydney. Wayne's not letting that happen either.
No way in the world. I mean, Madge definitely wouldn't happen. I don't think it would happen at the Broncos. Like, that's
it's very unique.
It's very unique, but it's also. I think it's great to have.
To me, it's evidence of a roster. Like, trust, connection. Well,
put it this way: if he leaves tomorrow, then you don't really need to bring in a coach that knows everything. The players know everything.
They're running
so
the show,
you've got to. You just need a coach that jumps on board with everything that they've built. So and that's hard to do sometimes.
He empowers them, doesn't he?
Yeah, correct.
It's a democracy in Canberra.
It's a democracy.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So
they've learned a few things from up the road.
No, we're not getting political on this podcast.
Definitely not.
I put the Raiders on top after talking shit about their attack. They just continue to find ways to score points in different ways.
So does it mean the Bulldogs have had all the buys though? They haven't had.
Doggies have had 3 buys.
3 buys.
Yeah,
Raiders have had
so they've got to go for the rest of the year without
a rest.
Yeah, that's.
They'll be okay. I put them in second. Their attack's the best in the comp. They're working through some things at the moment with Lockie Galvin, but provided they keep working as hard as they do, in defence. Like the groundwork is there. They can afford to spend the next couple of weeks tinkering things with Sexton and Galvin. And but like that 8-6 loss to Penrith on the weekend, people like the open groups, Ned's open groups was just going, this game's fucking shit. No, rugby league sucks. Like that was one of the best games of footy we've seen in Clubland in months and months and months. And there aren't many teams who will go 8-6 with the Penrith side like that one in NRL round 17. So yeah, I like the doggies.
Grand final preview, that felt like.
Yuck.
The other team in the top 4
Yep.
is the Phins.
Yep.
And part of me thinks, is this an overreaction? But they're scoring points, lead the league in tries, all that fun stuff. Go into the bye now, absolutely chock full of confidence. My main question, though, is do you think they're peaking at the wrong time of year?
Yeah, maybe. But their defense, they're like the 4th or 5th best defensive team in the comp. The guys they're missing at the moment, Flegler, Gilbert, Plath, Felice Kafusi, Daniel Saifidi, like it's like their whole starting pack. And they're winning the yardage battle every week. And then, what Isaiya Katoa is doing is like the best parts of his game aren't highlight reel moments. Usually if you've got a half who can dig into the line and change tempo to sit, A, B and C, the highlight reel moment is going to come 2 or 3 passes wider.
Yep.
He'll get C to turn in,
So
which
much
means
space,
his
it gives them
5'8" or
space,
his fullback can have room to step someone or throw a double cutout. He's so good at it. He's having those highlight reel moments himself.
This could be it. This could just be the year, you reckon?
That
make
they
the
play
finals.
finals.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I definitely think they play finals. Yeah.
They've still got 2 buys to play as well this year, so they've got
Do they?
plenty of time to put their feet up and rest up before finals.
And they'll get, Felice will come back with about a month to go. I'm not sure where Daniel Saifidi's at. Obviously, Gilbert and Flegler are a long way away. But if
they're out for
Plath
the
comes
year.
back as well, but
They said Gilbert would be back before the end of the year.
what sort of shape he'd be. Anyway,
Yeah.
but like even what they're doing at the moment, so impressive. Kurt Donahue, shout out. He's
about
played
that try?
5 different positions in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Like he just personifies, I think, what Christian Wolf's done with that roster. He just competes on everything. And so long as they're all scrapping and fighting and winning half of the moments in a game, Isaiya Katoa is good enough to win the game from there.
I think it's telling too. I think it was over the weekend. Tedesco came out and said, I love watching Katoa
Did he?
highlights. And Nathan Cleary's done that as well.
Yeah.
Like the top guys are watching him and paying him that respect. Like that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
Do you reckon he's so good at it that he hasn't been hit hard yet?
But they don't have the tape on him to.
Would you see what Sean Kep? That's exactly what happened with Kep.
Yeah.
The one where he put through and passed Hammer back on the inside. Kepi, not the best defender,
No.
but he was so worried about getting penalised for hitting him late because Katoa has slowed down so much and
doesn't know
turned
when he's
so
gonna
much.
pass, yeah.
Kepi can't see the ball, and Katoa's done everything to suggest he's going to pass it.
Yeah.
And then he turns and goes, and Kep's kind of like going like this.
He's gone.
Shit.
He's gone, yeah.
So yes, I think maybe when Brendan Piakura
Well, that's what I
gets
mean.
a look at
Like,
his inside.
That's what I mean. I mean, I don't know, and this is we want to protect the halves. Like I don't want them to get hurt, but you're gonna have to send someone out to just to give him a little taste of what it's like to really dig into a line.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's had it yet, and someone's gonna get him, and he's not gonna like it. And that might.
It'll happen eventually.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. But he's a good footy player.
But that first pause when he first catches the ball and he slows, if I'm a defender or if I'm marker coming at his inside, coming at his ribs, as soon as I see Katoa stop, I think, shit, he's going to burn me back on the inside. So I can't
Go
go
get
at
him, yeah.
And then by the time he speeds up again, he's already got just enough past me. Well,
he's in New South Wales
This
camp
guy,
this
bring
week,
the other
so
one up.
He's only going to get
he's in
better.
New South Wales camp this week, so hopefully he doesn't teach Cleary and Vinny how to dig into the line.
Yeah, interesting times ahead for the Phins too, because Nikorima's done his hamstrings. Well, so that's like a bit of a.
What about them duo? The duo of them, like they were.
Yeah,
they're
true. I'd
like
forgotten about
they're
that. That's
so
a big loss.
Yeah.
everything they were doing together, both him and Nikorima, they're like they knew where they were going to be every single time.
Yep.
And a lot of those tries are coming off, obviously Katoa doing his job amazingly, but Cody being in the right spot at the right time as well. So that sucks for Nicholas.
It was a good combination Katoa's change of tempo and then Nikorima's acceleration.
100%.
The one that Cody scored
When he went,
when he went on the inside.
Just, it didn't-
Katoa didn't pass to Cody.
It looked like he was passed
to the space.
Yeah, it
And
looked like
Cody's
he was
going,
going
better get in here.
He ran that unders line.
Incredible.
He changed his line so well.
Yeah.
And it looked like he was going to intercept it. I don't know who.
Campbell Graham.
Campbell Graham. It looked like he was going to intercept it.
Cody's moved on
And
the
then
pass.
Cody's just gone bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yes, that is a big loss. I
And then
had
the
forgotten
sniper
about
came
that,
out.
Ryan.
Yeah, unfortunate. Penrith over the Roosters. Explain this one to me.
Yeah, mate, you could go either. What I have in Penrith 6, Roosters 7th. Just think Penrith they're just building their way very scarily into the
Disgustingly.
season, aren't they? Like, they haven't changed much. It would have been so, like, how many other coaches would have changed half that back line after the first 6 weeks? It's pretty much the same dudes, but like what Casey McLean did against Stephen Crichton, I don't know if you boys watched
Yes,
this
he
game
did.
closely,
Yes,
but
yes.
that was one of the best one-on-one battles we've seen in a long time. Casey doesn't do that 6 weeks ago. He would have front-loaded for 20 minutes and then he would have made an error or Critter would have burnt him and he would have gone into his shell. I think that was a really good example of the development of this young Penrith side this year.
Yeah.
Give them a role, put the reps into them, get some cohesion in the roster. Like, that was one of the best things about Penrith's dynasty. They barely had an injury in 4 years. They had the same 13 or 17 dudes.
I think we got to
pretty
give it
much
to
every week.
Critter as well. His numbers were ridiculous still. He ran over.
Oh, they were both
Like-
great.
Yeah.
They were both excellent. But I don't know if Casey even gets close to that at the start of the year. Whereas they're doing it now.
Probably
so-
not. That was, yeah.
And they got the reps. I think that's probably why I go over the Chookies, Ryan, because Sam Walker's coming back in. That might take a bit of time, maybe, for the Chooks to.
Does that mean you've pushed
find
us
a groove.
down? Where have you pushed
Yeah,
us?
8th for the Bronx.
8th for the Bronx.
Which, yeah.
You can go back and rewrite that if you
I
want.
can. I can. You can make a case for him. Now I'm thinking about all those injuries to the Dolphins. Yeah, I'm very keen to see what Brisbane look like with Ben Hunt at 9. It's clearly the one area that
We haven't nailed in a long time.
you haven't
I don't
nailed,
think.
yeah.
Like, we've had very good players in there, Respectability and Pakesy and stuff, but it's just not a spot that we've had locked in every week with
and you don't-
confidence.
and so therefore you don't get the reps in. Like,
Yeah.
we were frothing on that shape that Corey Pakes was doing
Start
a
of the
few of
year.
those shapes around the ruck, and then they kind of disappeared. Billy comes in, he's a running 9, he's getting you to weird spots on the field sometimes, and like Ben Hunt, and even defensively as well.
Yeah.
Billy and Corey, not the best defensive 9s. Benny Hunt, the grizzled old warrior that he is, like, whether I don't know if he plays maybe 50, 60 minutes at 9 and one of those other guys comes off. but
I'm not sure if he'll play that much this week.
maybe.
I don't
No,
know.
ease him back into
What
it.
do you think
Yeah.
by finals time? What do you think Benny Hunt's is he an 80-minute hooker at Clubland?
Well, he can play that. He can play that, but I don't think they'll push him because with the inclusion of either Pakes or Billy Walters, I mean, you don't need to.
Yeah.
They both have their great attributes themselves. So it's just picking the right one for the right job, I think. I mean, there's going to be times where Billy will be the guy because if Ben can break teams down, we'll just get Bill to run. Just run.
And you
know
saw
what I mean?
you saw the job that Bill did against the Sharks the other day.
Yeah.
Like, he was a very big difference maker for us in that comeback. So it's just, I think it's just about inserting them at the right time.
Corey Pakes is he's very good at deception.
He's a genuine crafty
he's
knight.
very good at deception. We're going one way and going the other, and making sure that the plays that they create, they're done to a T.
Yeah.
When we're either close to the line or we're trying to get into good ball, that's one of the things where Bill's a bit more ad lib.
Yeah.
If he sees something, he'll go.
Yeah.
And I think bringing Ben into the fold and having that as a footy player, Dozer will just go and just do the stuff he needs to, and steer the team around. But also, he's a genuine leader on the footy field as well. So that'll be a plus if he can play big minutes as well.
He's a kicking option.
Yep.
And he
great.
just, like, I think the best thing
I mean,
about...
so is Bill. Bill's kicked 2 40-20s this year as well.
Like, Hunty's going to make sure... It might take a while,
Yeah.
but the best version of Bronx has Ben Hunt at 9 when he is giving Reno and Ezra the balls at the right
Yeah.
time.
I just want to see that trio.
Yeah, we
properly
haven't seen it
clicking.
yet, so it needs to start going because we've got 10 rounds till finals.
You'll be sweet.
Footy, And then this is the business end. We speak about it every year on this podcast, and everyone knows. But these last 10 rounds is where you need to be hitting your straps, and it's going to be hard to try and. You don't want to ruin your spine too much. You don't want to change it too much. But I mean, when you've got someone like Ben Hunt come into the side, you're going to have to make sure that you can account for what he's going to bring.
Yeah, if you wanted him injured, you wanted it at the start of the year.
Correct, yes.
Good problem to have. I will say, Oscar, even though we're pulling apart your rankings, you've taken off your South Sydney hat and put them 13th. So
I dropped them
credit
down,
to you,
mate.
Matt.
Mate, that was dog shit what they dished up against Redcliffe, really. That was the first time they've had a first-choice backline all year. The forward pack was as close to full strength as we're going to get this season with Murray and Brandon Smith still a ways away. Just didn't show up.
Were they away? Were they still? When is he back?
The Cheese, I think they're aiming for around 20.
Okay.
Cam Murray's an outside chance to play finals if we make it there. He had an ACL. He had Achilles and then it got infected.
The Cheese was up here though.
Cheese is there. I think he'll play Reggie's over the next couple of weeks.
Like he was up here in Brisbane with them.
Yeah, he's been travelling with them and stuff.
Because he was... Yeah, he was pretty full on the weekend.
Was he?
We bring back story time? Or?
Oh, no. I might just leave that one. He might get in trouble. Not sure if he was supposed to.
Yeah, disappointing Souths, but they're probably running out of time. I haven't gone into it. They would be close to mathematical territory, I would
say
guess.
so, yeah.
So, yes.
Currently $200 to win the comp. So.
Yeah, I'm not taking that.
quick math. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back, chat the multi, and a little bit of NRLW. You're listening to NRL Unpopular Opinions. Gentlemen, time to pick a multi last week. We only went 2 from 4. I had the under between the Knights and the Raiders. That got up. And Fogs, you had the Storm to cover.
Oh, man. That was a sweaty one at the start, but then never in doubt towards the end.
And I had the unders in the game we spoke about before, the Rabbitohs and the Dolphins.
Phins.
Yeah.
I think the Phins... No. They did it themselves, I think.
Far out. That was bad. And you're too.
Mine was close. South plus 5.5. So they started well. I was up by 11.5 points after 5 minutes, and then it was all downhill from there. Read me the riot act, Ryan. How am I?
Yeah, will you tell me how far behind you think you are?
I thought I was 2 behind last week, so now I'm 3 behind. But honestly, it could be 5 or 6 at this point.
4.
4 behind.
Okay. 4 behind. 4 behind. Fogs.
Well, Fogs and Jharal both 9 and 9.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
Like, look, how many rounds we got left? 10?
Hang on, wait, so we're going to only pick 5 winners all
so
year.
14 rounds.
I'm sure it was
6.
6 at some.
You got
6 you got, sorry.
6 and
Yeah.
12.
I got 6.
Yeah, 14 rounds.
Oh, so I'm 3 behind.
Yeah. It might be 3 or 4. We'll double check. I lose track.
What do you mean? You got the numbers right.
Yeah, but I've lost track.
I'm seeing 3. It's Jharal and I are 9, and you're 6.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for
but
that.
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
That's 3 to tie,
yeah.
4 behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but everyone's correct.
Okay.
I've been so bad. No excuses. No excuses.
Don't make them.
Open
hear
group's been going well though.
Yeah.
And we
the main
thank you
thing.
for that.
As a reminder, if you're listening to us for the first time, there's a tattoo on the line with these multi-tips from each of us. And yeah, right now you're in the driver's seat, Oscar, so we've got to work that out.
We're going to have to come up with
You guys need to figure out what it's going to be.
Well, we all got it.
I've got ideas, but I'm not going to share them yet.
capitulate here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's still a chance.
Thanks, boys.
Could start this weekend.
Thanks, boys.
What are you going this week?
I took Ryan Pappenhausen against the Cowboys.
Okay.
And I'm staying in that game as well.
Yep.
And I'm going to go 13 plus Melbourne Storm. I just do not see the Cowboys getting a look into this.
They're shot.
They're pretty shot. And they lose some of their best players. So do the Storm, but you know what they're like with their regime. So, yeah, I've gone Melbourne 13 plus.
On a similar token,
I just read the dictionary, you know.
Got some word of the day toilet paper at home.
I'm taking the Roosters 13 plus against the Tigers.
2 13 pluses.
Yeah, getting $1.90 for that. So that's pretty good. And Fogs, you're in that same game?
Yeah, so I'm going to take the overs. I couldn't. The line really scared me. It's 12.5 to the Roosters, so I just went, let's go the overs.
Yep. I don't have a price because we're waiting on teams, but we're at $6.23 with those 3 legs. We throw in Paps at probably $1.90 or something.
yeah.
We get.
Give me $9.
We'll be around $8-9. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yep.
I'm going to do it. I'm doing it.
Before we get out of here, NRLW is
Oh,
back.
it's this weekend, man.
Let's go!
Oscar, you're going to be breaking it down every week for the Neds Punters
Yes.
on the socials.
Thanks, Uncle Ned. for letting me do some NRLW content. Yeah, I'm fizzing for it, boys. Really good. 2 new teams this year, the Bulldogs and the Wars. Broncos and Chookies are short-priced favourites again, I think probably for good reason, but you can make a case for a few of the others. Sharkies, Parramatta, Cows might surprise a few people. So, yeah, really excited. Thursday night, the girls kick off.
Yep.
So, yeah, keen.
It's going to be a good watch. I think the Bronx are, what did we say before, 17.5-point favourites.
Against the Tigers. In round 1.
Yep.
I'll probably be taking them to cover that. The Broncos' left edge was already the best in the comp. Mele Hufanga and Julia Robinson.
Beast.
Scored tries for fun, and now they've just added Tamika Upton, who's the best player in the women's game,
Yeah.
into that jockey position and down short side. So,
And we welcome the Bulldogs into the competition this year?
yeah.
Yes.
Bulldogs
and welcome
and the
back the
Warriors.
Warriors.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Wires were in there 5-10 years ago.
COVID years.
Yep. So, yeah,
12 teams.
I'm with the Bronx this year.
Let's go.
Maybe a little saver on the Sharkies as well.
There you go. I'm sure you guys will talk about it more on the offload. That might do us. Anything you boys want to plug before we get out of here?
Not really.
No?
You got anything
my
for us?
butthole.
What? Whoa, man.
Fogs, that's weird. Why'd you say that?
No,
I'm locked in.
I think we're raring to go. I'm just looking forward to talking Origin next week.
Yep.
It's a big topic, and one of the most anticipated games to play in Sydney for a little bit, I think, for State of Origin. So, yeah, that's going to be enjoyable next Monday.
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
Yes.
Let's go, baby.
All right. Well, thank you, Oscar. Thank you, Jharal. Thank you, Fogs. Thank you to our producer, Rich.
Thanks,
We'll
Rich.
chat next Monday.
Thanks, Richard.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website